I always say, like, with everything that I do, even when I was doing like live video from the very beginning, wondering if someone is watching, I always say, if there's only one person who will listen or just watch and then say like, hey, this created impact on me, that's already a win.
Welcome to another episode to Unexpectedly Successful. And today I am here for a treat with this powerhouse that I will tell you a little bit more in just a second. But for my audience, I want to invite you into a piece of my world that is coming from my own story as an immigrant. And I am so proud to be featuring immigrant business women that I am going to get to hear their stories, including the journey on how they went from country A to country B. And I am super amazed by the things that immigrants can do. We have Joanna Sherrow. She is, I'm going to read this because it's a lot of information. Okay, so she is a multi-business owner. She owns and it's a creative director for Savvy Chic Design since 2016 and brand out of the oven. She is the owner of a tech company called EmpowerSoft in 2023. Why not close up the year with all the energy and power? Good for you, Joanna. And I'm gonna tell you, Savvy Chic Design. It's an all services company for web development, course creators services, including graphic design, Kajabi as a platform to get everything ready to go. And as an expansion to that, EmpowerSoft is a tech company. You're all-in-one CRM business solution and streaming success, simplifying your business and empowering your growth. Okay, so if that was not enough, Joanna, she is Madam Marketing Chair to the National Association of Women Business Owners in Kentucky. She is a board member to URCO, which is an NGO that supports Uganda children and women. She is a Canvas certified creative and a brand ambassador, and she's a preferred vetted Kajabi expert, because one thing is to know Kajabi, another thing is to be a vetted, trusted partner with Kajabi. So with no further introduction needed, I am excited because this woman has all things going full force, full power. Joanna, welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having me. That's such a wonderful introduction. It kind of just makes me kind of think like, what have I been going, kind of creating behind the scene? You have that just mentality, let's just whip something up, right? But it's just so amazing of all the years and kind of just being acknowledged by, brands and also our colleagues in the space of what we have created as well. Thank you so much for having me.
As I'm going through all of this, Joanna, I'm like, what has she been doing behind the scenes? Like, she's been totally busy. Anyway, so Joanna, let's get started to the raw and genuine stories of Joanna Sherrow. So what is it to be Joanna for you?
Oh my gosh. Joanna, I think, is a risk taker and full of energy, I would say. Sometimes I said, where do I get all of this energy that I have? But I think I'm just realizing that life is such a wonderful opportunity to create something out of nothing. I think that's one thing. And especially you've mentioned that this whole season or series is going to be about immigrants. It is just so nice to share our journey. So yeah, I'm born and raised in the Philippines, been here in the US for 8 years, turning 9 in I arrived in December 12 of this year. December 12. I remember that one because that is Lady of Guadalupe. I remember that one. Our Catholic priest here kind of said, oh, she's arriving in Lady of Guadalupe time. So yep, that's a celebration here. And it's just so excited to see what we have created out of who we are, right? When we are in the Philippines. It was a different journey and kind of just like an overhaul of what we can create. And, this country, United States, has really given us an opportunity to do so. So I'm so excited for this one.
Wow. So you turned the 9th year in the US a week ago. So, wow. And so you said you are a risk taker. You see life as an opportunity to create things out of nothing, which is one of the things that you're most proud about as a business owner and as an individual, as you're saying. And you're full of energy. And for my audience, let me tell you, when I connected to Joanna, one of the reasons why I just I wanna get to know this woman was because she was full of energy, enthusiasm, and a vision. And Joanna says that one of the things that she's most proud about, other than creating something out of nothing, is having the people who see the same vision as her, through her team members, through her clients, and then seeing the wins, but also being there for the low places, because that is also a reality. As a business owner, as an immigrant, I'm super excited to dig deeper into that risk-taking process that you've gone through the years. Joanna, what have been one of the most defining moments for you as a person to bring you to this place?
I think is all of the that's a very good question. I think the defining moment is being able to really go through head on with what you want to accomplish. I think because each journey, each step is indeed it has its own challenges, and being able to really convey and show up in a way that people kind of understand what it is that you're doing is really something that it really defines who you are. I always believe, I think one thing is that with all the things that I have created, I have this mentality of if no one will give you your stage, create your own stage. If no one will open the door for you, go and knock on the door and open it for you, right? I think that's one thing that I have really done. And that is one thing that sometimes I laugh at myself, really, and I run to my husband and said, "Babe, look what I have done again. What did I get myself into again?" Because it's something I've never thought I'll actually be on TV to be interviewed, right? But what I did about that was I actually asked a producer if they need somebody, right? I've never, for example, as a Canva certified creative, I just showed myself up and create something and then kind of asked, "Hey, are you looking for advocates for your brand?" Right? All of these things are being done. And even everything that I have created with Savvy Chic Design and now with EmpowerSoft is really just that defining moment of understanding that I have something to share to the world. And if the world is not ready for me, I'm going to let them be ready for who Joanna is.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
So yeah, and especially as an immigrant, I came here in 2015. I had a sales and marketing background in the Philippines. When I came in here, maybe just a few dollars in your pocket, and because I came here because my love of my life is here, as what they call, right? So I bet there's some of us who flew over the ocean, fly over the mountain to be with the love of our life, and kind of just defining and really let go of the things that we have created for years, right?
Yes.
Especially I was in a stage of really climbing the corporate ladder, being manager, managing team, traveling, all of these things. And I came here in the US, and when I eventually had my my permit to work, the first job that I had was in retail. It just more flexibility. Then eventually I became a key holder, a second line to the manager, and then eventually became a manager. And I was
key holder. I love that.
Yes, a key holder. So, and then after that, I kind of just realized there's more to things, right? There's more to things. And I think that's one thing that as an immigrant, at times we try to navigate who we are, our identity. We have I got brown skin, different from the community that I have, especially if you are in a county that is a bit smaller, maybe not that well diverse and everything. And you're trying to navigate yourself, right? And then I was trying to tell myself, there's more to what I am doing right now. I feel like I am called to do something more than just because it was a shoe store, and I love shoes. Yes, the amount of shoes that I've actually bought during that work,
and I'm sure with that discount, so it was an even sweeter deal.
I know, right? And the amount of shoes that I bought for Christmas time to give to my family, they surely enjoyed that moment, right? But there was really more to that. And since I had sales and marketing experience, I said, I think I'm gonna start something. And my husband's cousin was into the network marketing unwavering, and she owns a boutique up north. I think north. Is it north or west? Something in Kentucky. And said, hey, why don't you do this one? Because I think you have the personality. And I said, yeah, I think that would be a good opportunity for me because it allows me to get out, know the community, and kind of just dive into what I love. And online, I mean, with the blessing of online right now, it is just so it's so powerful. And I actually had that moment in time, like, because I was already scrolling Facebook, right, watching those cat videos, those funny videos until you fall asleep. I said, and behind my mind I said, I ought to be like earning something from this time that I have, right? So that's where kind of like I was really hungry for something else beyond that. And of course the fear of not knowing, like, I mean, I didn't know anyone. Like, I didn't know anyone. Like, who can I sell? They say, right, start with your family, start with your friends. Like, I didn't have that much friends, right? And my family is just like within this. So it was really trying to navigate and building something out of nothing. So I went into network marketing, and then I started selling lipstick, and that was really funny.
God.
Yes, I was like,
that was your first product.
Yes, that was the first product that I had. It was called Lip Sense. So the smudge proof, all of this proof, right? So I started doing that one, and I was starting learning about visual branding, like personal branding, right? Because it was online. So I said, okay, if I'm not gonna spend like much marketing, like the traditional marketing that I had during corporate times, right? You do flyers, you do all of these other things, right? You just have Facebook go live and everything. So I started to learn about that. I started to dive into that whole kind of world and got to know some online influencers, learning about personal branding. And I remember doing and capturing, those Facebook quotes for motivational Monday, like Thursday, something like that. And I keep grabbing it on Google and Pinterest, and I said there ought to be better way that I can do it. And that's when Canva came into my life.
Oh, wow. And what year was this?
I think 2017, because I became a Canva certified creative, I believe 2018. So there was already that transition. So I said, I ought to be doing something. I'm not going to grab, because I've learned about copywriting, all of these things, right, that we should not do. So I found Canva. And from there, because I was learning already you need to position yourself as somebody so that you can attract people online. So I started doing live video training. Like, yay, I have this new tool. Like, I have this new tool that I would like to share with you all. So I just did this. And then people started asking me, do you do social media templates? Do you do Facebook stuff? And it was nothing really. I was not doing it. But here's one thing that I've learned as a business owner. Listening is very important.
Yes.
Like how many times, and really self-aware. And I think that's where EmpowerSoft came about, because me listening again and thinking of an idea, right? But I was just starting listening, and people said, I was really honest. I have no experience, but I'd be happy to do it for you for XY amount. And my very first job was $50 for 25 Canva templates for social media.
Oh my God.
And it's customized. Like, it's really like within their brand, what they need and everything. And I remember crying.
Can we still get that deal, Joanna? That was a good deal right there.
I know, right? Like, that was really it. And there was a moment, like, it was a nice learning, and then such time you found the value of what you create, you start increasing, you start offering more, and all of the wide arrays that we have with Savvy Chic Design, like from branding, social media, graphic, website, logo design, was when people asked little by little by creating actions, because I was like, okay, I was doing this, showing up, and then people start asking, I said, okay, 3 people already asked, let's see if somebody else. And then I said, okay, yes. And I started minimal. Like, I was deciding maybe 250 for a website, like really 5 on and literally something like that. So it was really a gradual, and there was really a presence of mind of like listening it. Okay, this is a value. This is something I can do. And it took some time. I was, and we have family, we have responsibility. So I was working part-time and juggling the business and kind of turning around. And then pandemic happened. Of course, that's when digital became so busy. So that's where I really became more of an LLC for Savvy Chic Design, and really went full on with the design and website design business that I have. So it's really navigating. It's like from there, like, okay, I came in 2016, started navigating, and then here we are after like, a few years in with the business. It has its own challenges, but it's nice.
Oh yeah, and we'll go into that because it's exciting and it's full of yes, it has it all for the aspiring women entrepreneurs out there. It has it all. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so I love how you connected your talents and gifts and unique expertise. So you connected your experience from sales and marketing with that drive to ask for opportunities, to knock on doors that may not be open, but you request to be let in. And then I believe the overarching was the risk-taking that you mentioned at the beginning of who you are, right? And boldness, because you've been in the US for 9 years, and then you started on one of the hardest segments of sales, right?
Yeah.
Network marketing, and then you just like took it from there, and I'm amazed by that. So and how you've gone from a little opportunity into just building blocks from there. So Joanna, you talked about you being multi-passionate offline, and I think what you described captures that. But can you tell us a little bit of how this wonderful woman came to be, being born and raised in the Philippines, that you see nurture who you are as a businesswoman right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, coming from a developing country, I would say, there are a lot of experience that hone who I am right now. And I think that's one thing that I'm really proud of. And I think if you visit to Savvy Chic Design, it's really created with the heritage, the passion that we have, remembering where I came from and who also I bring into the business. Like, we are diverse, but we also want to go back to our roots. I think that's one thing that we have, right? Resilience is always one thing I have learned. I remember times of hardship as a family in a middle class. I remember circumstances that doesn't allow us to have that means, but just being resilient and find ways and figuring it out. And I think that's one thing also that I've really carried on besides resilience is everything is figure outable. So there is a book for that one. If you all follow Marie Folio, she has a book for that one. Go check that one out. That's one of the things that I said, like, yeah, I actually been doing this as my life motto, right? Like, yeah. And I think that's one thing that I have, who Joanna is, like, really being able to figure things out. And I think that's where the yes part, being an entrepreneur, yes, let's figure it out. Yes, let's do this. If this doesn't work, then we know that this doesn't work, and then we can shift, right? Because as a business owner, one of the key things I've really realized is that you need to be fast in deciding things. Yes. Of course, you take calculated risks, analyzing, this investment that we're gonna do, cost this one, how is our return of investment? There's a lot of things that you need to analyze first, but being able to really figure things out, because life may not be that super, super hard, but it has its challenges. When I was in the Philippines, and being, because when was that one? I think I was in college, a few years in college. I think my mom did left for the U.S., just for a better opportunity as well. That's why we're here with my mom and my middle sister, just providing. But I had to really survive with my middle sister in the Philippines on our own. So, wow. So I really had, and on my 4th year of college, one more semester, I actually end up stopping because I was supposed to graduate 2005, and I stopped because I need the financial help. So I started working in a call center, which is a blessing also. A U.S. company outsourcing their business allowed us to have some financial freedom, not freedom, but financial help as well during that time, right? And the funny thing also in the Philippines is that you can't, how education is really a priority, like a diploma, graduate of years experience, in order for you to gradually go through the corporate ladder, right? And I knew that I was more than just a supervisor on a call center booth managing, that I ought to be, have experienced manager and everything. So with that one, it has its own challenges, being to provide for yourself, and then you know how it is to live independently, right? Food,
Yes.
housing, and then you have your sister who's still in college. You kind of just help out each other of some sort. So there is
Wow.
an instant maturity that defines who Joanna is now as well, and just that experience. And during that time, I was really like, I need to go, up the ladder and everything. So I decided
Yes.
in 2008, I believe, 2008, to go back to
And
college
finish college.
and finish
Wow.
my college.
So you had a 4-year break in
Yes.
between.
Yes, I had.
Okay.
And in the Philippines, private schools are with uniforms.
Yeah.
We have uniform. I was like wearing and we are in a Catholic school, right? So I had to go through and everything, and I really had to manage. I think that really helped me also, like when I was doing part-time job and also managing my business, because when I was working in the call center, I had to request for Tuesday and Thursday day off, and it was a full load class, like from 7 to like
wow.
late night. Like that is it for the 2 days, right? So it was really a little bit of a discipline for sure, and it just defines who I am as an entrepreneur. Coming, with that experience, with the values that I have. And I always had that mindset that even though it is out of my scope, I try to learn it. Because next time, like even in my career, like, I was a marketing manager, I was like a sales manager, I was a regional manager. And even though it's out of scope, I'm not that attitude that, no, that's below my pay grade or like above my pay grade, something like that. I always just say, yep, I'd be happy to learn it. And then when it says like, hey, it seems like this is like out of my scope, it doesn't work or something like that. Those are like things that help me learn. That's why as a business owner, we always say like we wear multiple hats, right? From
Yes.
HR to sales and marketing to like analyzing to everything. And I think those attitude help me how I kind of run my business as well, in knowing areas of, I know how to analyze the numbers, how to
Yes.
forecast this one, how to like work with people. So there's a lot of things that kind of just made us ready for who we are right now. I hope that answers.
That is so cool. That is so cool. I mean, you talked about resilience and how you know the face of hardship. So it's not like that's something that scares you because you've been through it and you've been able to find a way. And I believe that I mean, as you say, everything is figurable. Everything has a solution, right? And so I think that resilience is directly tied to your life experiences. And I mean, you making decisions as a young adult, 24-year-old, to take a break to provide for your family. I'm sure that was not an easy decision. Primarily because of what you said about the Philippines culture, putting that value in education, right? So you were a non-college graduate working. And so as a Mexican immigrant, I know education was drilled into me as value. And I was not at peace until I had that paper as a college graduate, right? Like, I'm a college graduate, so I can imagine you being there.
Yeah, and by the time that I really got March, because we were still in the traditional like settings, because I think right now the Philippines adopted the U.S. type of curriculum. So March graduate, when I got that one and really got my toga and my hat on, I said, I'm gonna make my resume, and I start applying outside of the call center, because call center, you work the night shift, double shift at times, right?
Wow.
Like it's becoming a little bit of a strain on health. So when I got that one, I was out. Like I was like graduate of like, yes.
Wow. But in what you just said, Joanna, you were persistent at this call center, right? You stayed there, and you were grateful for what you were getting out of it, although you knew it was not the place where you wanted to stay. And I'm gonna go into a piece that I'm like, call center, talking to people. having a podcast. Tell us how you came up with the podcast. Yes. As now it makes sense. All the pieces are connected.
Yeah. I mean, that call center was really good because the last call center was more about market research. And I think that's also a good thing because like we call people, hey, political, do you like Papa John's? And that's when I know actually like what Papa John's is, what like those brand Domino's is.
Wow.
We don't have this one in the Philippines. And every time actually, I don't know if like people like, oh, you speak good English. Like, we're actually from the Philippines, but we are taught English, our communication, our education, like these are things, right? But anyway, kind of just like, and the podcast that it came about is, just the talking, and it was a passion project. So I think my very first episode was in 2018. It was called Savvy Connection. And that podcast has changed its name multiple times, but now it's called the Self-Taught Designer Podcast. It was really just a passion project, and wherein I could just record and talk, and without any plan and everything, no client avatar, nothing at all, just kind of like, hey, I got a podcast, right? You know how it is. We're business owners, the shiny objects. Yep, it's real shiny objects. So I had that one, but of this year, October of this year, it became more defined on what the podcast is all about. I am a self-taught. That's one thing. Also, everything that I've created is self-taught. I mean, I always call myself, I'm a designer graduate of YouTube University. All the YouTube resources that I have. And I kind of just say like, okay, I'm a self-taught. I think I have built something from my wide array of experience. How can I be more of service to a different clientele? Because I serve knowledge-based entrepreneurs, small businesses. We build websites. We work with a lot of online coaches. And with EmpowerSoft, we're kind of targeting also the local market, right? It's more driven of a service. Now, how can I be more of service to fellow immigrants, maybe who are building their own design business, fellow designers who maybe went out of the corporate and trying to navigate it. So I just thought, this would be a good opportunity for me to be of service through that. Of course, initially it has a intention, maybe I could do a course and I could do that one that's still going to be in the pipeline. But it became more meaningful to me to show up and just share like, this is how I did the things. Like, these are the things that you can learn. These are my challenges that I have. And I think we always say like we have our own story. And I always say like with everything that I do, even when I was doing like live video from the very beginning, wondering if someone is watching, I always say, if there's only one person who will listen or just watch and they'll say like, hey, this created impact on me, that's already a win. If not, that's still okay. That's still okay. If not, I just was able to blur out whatever it is that I have in my mind.
Yes. I love it because as a fellow podcaster, it's a lot of investment, right? It's investment in time, energy, the unknowns. But as a passion project, knowing that it will impact someone, I love how you frame it. If it impacts one person, then we achieve that goal that we started with. And it is now our job to get it to even more people, right? But we need to be thankful and grateful of those people who are impacted. And I love when you said one person, Joanna. I'm sure you don't have one person listening, but if in the instance when we see on our social media our videos 50 views or 100 views and then we see those 100,000 view influencers, right? But let's remember, if we had a room full of 50 people, if we had a room of 100 people or 250 people, I mean, those are human beings that we are impacting, and it's a blessing and it's a responsibility. So thank you for bringing your expertise, self-taught, that even if it's available there, not everybody has the grit to go through it and bring it in the form of service to somebody. So I'm thankful for that, Joanna, and I'm sure your podcast is of impact. I'm going to go back to something you mentioned as an immigrant. You said the values that you have. What are your values as a business owner, as an individual, Joanna?
Wow, that's really just like, I really value, one thing is the family setting of running in a business.
Yes.
I think that's one thing I'm really proud of, that even my team, like, we had a Christmas party, virtual Christmas party last Friday. And people were saying like, there was one that just came in and said, I saw that this is more than just an agency. Like I've worked with other, like I see the family, like that value. Because I didn't have that much big family. Like we're so immediate. Like it's really just my mom, my parents and everything. I know my mom and dad kind of separated, but it's really just us. And our even family dynamic is not really that close, but we know that we're there for each other. You know what I mean? Like we don't talk every time on the phone of some sort, but we know that I got your back. Like you got my back, you know, everything. So that's always what I come in, my value of like, we are all family here working together. So if there's something wrong, the value of communication as well. Because like me, I always say myself, like I am the disorganized, organized entrepreneur. Like I have all of this idea. I need people to organize it. So I always say like, I communicate this at any point there's any question of some sort, you know, like make sure that you kind of tell me. I think the value of also of integrity is very important as well. I mean, as a business owner, right, we build our business through what we showcase, right? So the integrity that we deliver, what we ought to deliver, is something that I always say to my team or to my contractors, that if this is what we see, this is what we tell. If we have, you know, that's why I always say, like, sometimes like I do video recordings of client calls, because I always tell my clients that I need to make sure I deliver what I said, because I can just blurt out like, yeah, we can do this one, right? So just the integrity that we are a business, and just being able to be there, professionalism is very important for me. It just resonates with who I am. I might be the bubbly, like, yes, right? Like all of this kind of like kid-like type. I think that's also one thing that I have, is that we ought not to forget who we are when we are a kid. Like enjoy it, have fun with it, right? That's why we have team meeting that is theme based. Oh, I'll share to you like all the slides, the group pictures that we have. Like we were so fun, the value of fun, the value of working together, the value of good integrity, the value of professionalism, and the value of like, I am here to continuously learning so that I can adapt with change. Because I think that's one thing that really resonates with me as well as an entrepreneur.
Awesome. Joanna, and how do you feel that those values are important to you as a guide, as a North Star, as a set? I mean, where do you see the benefit of knowing your values and bringing that into your business?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just creates like a pillar, right? A pillar of things. Like, are we doing this? Are we doing our service? Like, am I presenting this with the integrity of good intention to my client, right? So you then provide services that is right for them. You provide advice that is good for them, providing them option, right? Professionalism of a value. You provide, whether there are times that, oh my gosh, I can just, throw the red flag because I got an irate that was a bit discriminating in some sense. Because I have something as an immigrant, right? Here's some a good example. Thinking that you are in a developing country, at times when we outsource, they have the mentality that they can be paid off a minimal amount of fee compared to where we are at the US, right? So we have that one. And then at times, like, because it's a third, let's say third world or developing country, the quality is different from a first world country. That mindset is still there. And there was one time that it was thrown at me because a client didn't know, like, hey, you have a team here in the Philippines. So that's a reason why I hired a U.S. agency, X, Y, and Z, because I know quality is good. That took me back. Because the reason why I am working also with my fellow Filipinos there, because I know how hard it is to be able to work. And for me to just give back in that community is why I also work with them. I'm not saying I'm not going to be working with fellow Americans here or anyone here, right? It was just that I know the culture, I know the type of work, I know what it is. So just having that and understanding, no, we are professional. Because I was really like, and then my teammate who understand that professionalism is our core value had to remind me, let's sit down. Let's calm down a little bit. Let's be this. How can we address this professionally and show off that we are good in what we do, regardless of where we are at, right? Because that's a real scenario. That is something that might happen, might might occur as an entrepreneur, especially if you are from different country. Maybe your English is not that pronounced as mine, right? We have some sort of that, but just being reminded by that core value that we need to remain our composure, be professional. How can we address this and still build that relationship? So that's like, it's really a guiding light. It's a pillar of everything that does it serve our client? Do we provide integrity with this? Do we still have fun? Because there are times that I have to say no to clients because it doesn't bring us joy. Like when I start to feel like my contractors or my team members is stressing out, like because this is just way too much, it's not aligned anymore, then I have to make a decision and I have to ask them. That's where the communication value is. I am willing to sacrifice this project if you all are not happy. Are you good with this? Then I make them decide, let's just one more time. Maybe it's just something. Then the professionalism comes in, right? Like still not giving up. So these are things that, because as a business owner, you really need to align things that you have, not just because you earn the money or you earn the dollars, right? You need still to align. Is this where Savvy Shake is going? Is this where EmpowerSoft is going? Is this the client that we want to serve? Is this how we want to do business? Or even is this how we want to earn our money, right? To feed our family. But if it's all aligned with what you're doing, what you believe in. And one thing also I kind of want to raise, being a Catholic, if I may as well, I don't know the client.
Go ahead. This is a Ron Genuis. Bring it on, Joanna.
I always say because I'm a Catholic, I always say in team meetings, like, Lord, if this is for us, please provide us. And I even have to say, like, are you okay with, because this is who I am. I surrender my work. I believe in him. I believe in my faith. I believe in that one. So every team members really know that, like when I say trouble, this is just the Lord's way. Because I really do. Like, this is God. If God, this is yours. This is going to be the path that we're going to take. Just guide us. And I always say, even to my team, like, I know this is 2023 has been a challenging year for me personally. I was hospitalized in March. Anxiety was so high. I traveled in the Philippines with a little bit depression rather than being happy. So there's a lot of things going on. And just coming in, as we end 2023, just having that faith and just being able to share that faith with people who believes the other values that we have just makes business also really worthwhile. Because I always believe that he guides us. It's just my work to do. I always just tell Lord, just guide me where you want me. I'm gonna do all the work that needs to be done, right? And whether it's low or high, I know He's always there to support us. So that's why faith is always one thing I also wanna share. One thing that I hold dear as a person as well, and the thing that I also do in my business.
In your day-to-day. Wow, that's that's so powerful for first your level of awareness of your values, and then second, how you implement it. They're not only a picture on your wall, but it's a day-to-day implementation, practical insights on how you and your team hold those values in practice every day. And on the instance you talked about how the perception of you as an immigrant or coming from X or working in X country, how that really allowed you to go back to the core of who you are as a company. I love that, and not allowing to be reactive, but respond in the best way to your interest and what you believe in. And I love the fun part, because you do have fun in what you do. I mean, for my audience, when you get a chance to visit Joanna's website, it's savvychickdesign.com. You're gonna see the fun. And actually, what she has on the website, she has this, which I love. She says, hold on. Inspired by heritage, design with passion, and build with purpose. And so that is in a very concise way everything that Joanna has shared with us. So Joanna, thank you for sharing about 2023 and the challenges that you've had. As a business owner, and we talked about this briefly in the beginning, the business ownership has it all, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. So tell us about a moment of challenge for you as a business owner, that when you describe the business owners, the business ownership started like, organically for you. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, I think I'm a business owner. So describe that and then tie it to a moment of challenge and how you came from it.
Yeah. Yeah, working on your own, like doing the freelance work, it all started, right? But then when I was able to replace already my income of the part-time job with what I was earning, that was already like, oh, okay, this is something else, right?
Yes.
Another pivotal moment as an entrepreneur when I started talking to a CPA, learning, like filing my LLC, right? Opening a bank account that has your LLC.
Oh, okay, exciting.
Yeah, talking to lawyer to review your contract. Like these are like big girl, woman entrepreneur, right? Like, oh my gosh. Like I have a lawyer that I can just email. Can you review this contract? Those kind of things, right? And those are like the wow, like that is like a pivotal moment of being like, oh, I am indeed a business owner, right? Coming in 3 years as an LLC. Challenges with the thing with us entrepreneurs, I always say that we are the crazy ones who put on responsibilities in our shoulder for other people's livelihood. That is the most key thing. Like when people kind of say, oh, CEOs, their owners are like, they earn big money and everything, they should be taxed and everything. I'm not saying that I'm already like a multi-millionaire, right?
Yet.
Yes. It's just that there are a lot of things like when my bosses before that owners, because I worked directly when I was in corporate, I worked directly usually with the business owner because I was part of the core team, right? So you see business owners shift strategy, shift like this, and you're here like, I don't understand. We just planned this one out. But now that I'm in that seat, now I understand because as a business owner, we see the whole picture from in and out of our business, and we do a lot of decisions making, right?
Yes.
The beauty of that is that you have that freedom to decide whether this is the right path, wrong path, switch, turn around, whatever degrees you want to take. But the challenge into that as well is the responsibility that we put on our shoulders, as I mentioned, putting other livelihoods, whether they're contractors. More of the teammates that I have are contractors, but they have been, doing their own thing, but they have been with me by contract to contract as well.
Yes.
2013, I think, is a challenging because there has a bit of a shift on the buying power of clients. Contracts are a little bit longer. There is a little bit more haggling, negotiation. There's multiple being bidded out for project. And that was different from the previous years that we have. And I was getting so worried. I think that's where anxiety comes in, right? Because I got hours running and profit is being used rather than just the income, right? So, and that's one thing. And making sure, like being that responsibility, like letting go of people you have been there because you don't have hours. You can't afford that one right now. The challenges that you have, because they have, especially when you have people who see the same vision as you and stick with you have that responsibility to them as well, right? Because you are that self-aware as well. So I think that was it. 2030, I lost my amazing senior designer at the very beginning. There was a lot of things shifting. There was hiring people. Contracts was being so late. I was just so worried with sales that I didn't know where the sale is coming from. And if you are from sales, you work on pipelines.
Yes,
you see
totally.
your forecast. Like, where's my forecast? How many quotes did I have? If you understand the Pareto principle, 80% of your work produces 20% of your output. I don't see that one, right? And in March, I was hospitalized. Anxiety was kicking in. I left for December, as I mentioned, to the Philippines. I felt like I was not in the right kind of hype mode. I was there, but not really that. And I was really worried with sales. Sales was really one thing. And one of the challenges also is that as an entrepreneur is finding whether your decisions is the right decisions.
Yes.
And 80% of most of that is not the right decisions, right? Because,
that is true. But, going back to the risk taking, right? We must make decisions that are risky, but we have to keep moving forward.
Yeah. So those are things like sales, really. I was like, I see our business bank account going down, like going, oh shoot, like, oh my gosh, another week going down.
Yes.
Where will I get? Like the lowest was second quarter, third quarter, right? Because I always do analyst number, like, where will I get this? Like, I was already thinking like I'm gonna work part-time again,
Oh, wow.
just to supply it, right? Just to pay my, pay my car mortgage, right? Like just to make sure I still pay the bills that I share in the household. I'm blessed, but I still have responsibilities, right?
Yes.
Like if I gonna say like do launch this, because you have your terms, you have your all of these things, right? You have to monitor cash flow in and out. And
Yes.
Here's the thing that the risk taker comes in. I'm such a risk taker in decision making in the business. Like if I think that goes value, I know like, okay, this is the probable ROI. And you know how ROI is, right? It's like, like it's not 100%, right? The return of investment it's a variable that needs to be analyzed. So that was it, I think. And then I had to decide in October, November that I need to shift. Like I need to shift something.
Yes.
And I think that's where EmpowerSoft comes in. I need to make strategic decision and move. I need to be more aware, but I had to communicate, going back to the values again.
Yes.
Communicate to those who work with me.
Yes.
If they understand the direction. Because I always say this one as a business owner, right? I always say to my team, like, I may be the pilot of the plane, but you all actually have the tickets, right?
Yes.
In your ticket, you know where the destination is. What's the time of departure? What's the destination? Because you're not going to fly an airplane without that one, right?
Yes.
So I always say that one. So when and I was also I was transparent to them. I was really transparent that I am having a hard time. Sales is so hard. Hours may not be there. Please just hang on, but I'm gonna work my butt off to do this one. And it's so funny when I start to do that, my project manager will say, "Oh no, Miss Joanna is working double time. Clients is coming in. Like they're like tense now, so we better in place." But I think that's it. It's not all ups. Like you will see me on social media all up and down, but I think I also allow myself to be vulnerable and something that it's hard. It was really hard. And I just need to shift. Like next year, we have our game plan. I don't know if it's going to be 100, but I see the vision. And the people that I've talked to see also the vision. So it's just my responsibility to keep going and just moving forward, and in the hopes that where we are led to go is the path that we're gonna go. Is it gonna be a straight line? I don't think so. But we are.
It never is in business ownership.
I feel like straight, then circle back around 360 degrees. But yeah, it's really hard. I've cried. I've decided to go into therapy because I think I just allowed myself to I think I need that space. And even when I'm already feeling good, I said, no, I'm not gonna let go of you. Let's still meet every month. I'm not gonna let go of you.
Wow, you touched in so many important pieces for us business owners, and as an immigrant too, right? So what I got from that, Joanna, is number one, you monitor your business closely. You know where you are right now, and you know where you want to go, and then you know where the pipeline is. So that's number one. Number two is knowing that this is not an easy ride. It has the ups and downs. And I love, though, when you talk about this October, November period, you are wondering and reflecting deeply on the direction and the future. But what I love about it is that out of that came a new endeavor, a new company. So for my audience, I've had the pleasure to be firsthand witness to this development in the last 3 months. And I want Joanna to tell us now an additional business came out of this moment of stress. And Joanna is now an immigrant businesswoman in the tech industry. So tell us about EmpowerSoft, because I am so proud of you, Joanna, for being bold and courageous and taking this moment to create even more out of nothing. So tell us.
Thank you so much for letting me share this one. So I'm so excited. So EmpowerSoft came about in really thinking, how can me and my team be sustainable and be able to serve more, going beyond what we offer, right? Because there's a lot of things that we can do. It's always that thinking, how can we serve? How can we sustainable? How can I serve my people who've stuck with me and being able to sustain, right? And still serve who we want to serve. So EmpowerSoft is an all-in-one platform that can cater to like offering CRM, website, social media planner, all of this wide array that we have. And I was really like, heads down, like what are this we're gonna create, right? So it's going to be a platform that they can sign up with and have an all-in-one that can really cater and specifically focus on their sales and marketing, help them retain, right? Because we've discussed this one yesterday when we had our call, is that yes, a website is beautiful, it can function, but if you don't do beyond just launching your website, you're not gaining sales, right? So we want to empower our clients or those who would like to work with us that they can actually have a software that will streamline everything that they would love and simplify things for them. Because as a business owner, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur, right, you have website to manage, you have social media, how many social media accounts, then how you're going to do your CRM, your pipeline, your funnels, your email marketing. Like us alone, we've known each other through the DCA by Amy Porterfield. And there's a lot of tech stuff that goes hand in hand in working, right? So let's simplify this. And EmpowerSoft came about it. And I'm so excited. I'm also scared at the same time with the investment. I just talked with my team this morning that, because support is one thing we want to make sure that is in place. That's another thing that we want to do. So with this one, it's really a platform that you can either just do your lead generation and maintaining your relationship as a CRM, or you would love that all-in platform that has your website, your funnels, your SMS and email marketing, right? Into that one. And then the higher tier that we offer is going to be more like you can send invoice proposals and all of these things to maintain and then still generate it all in one place. So, I always say I've never been into I think one thing, my middle sister is actually the one who went into the IT stuff. So she's the hardcore developer and everything. And here I am, more of a business mindset, but I knew that this is something that we can offer to our clients. So that's how EmpowerSoft came about, with the intention of how can I there's a selfish note to it, right? At first, like
you have to going back to the responsibility, you have to be sustainable and continue to deploy that responsibility, not only to your team, but those that you are called to serve as your clients, right?
Yes, because I was really thinking that, how can we, because they always, we all hear that analogy in the plane, right? You put your mask first before you put it to somebody else, right? That's always the instruction. So what mask can I put in SCD first in order for us to be sustainable and empowers? And I love how EmpowerSoft came about. I was coming back to Florida, going back to Kentucky, because we're like a snowbird. I'm so proud of that one. We're a snowbird. So, but anyway, we came back there and I was really looking, what name? I had all of this fancy. I want a savvy something. I said, empower. Why is it? Because I want to empower people. I want for us to be empowered as well. We want to be empowered in what we do in our business, because if we are empowered, we empower others too. And that's where it come about with Empower. So it doesn't have an E on it, but it's going to be empowersoft.com.
EmpowerSoft. So this is for my audience. If you are a solopreneur or a small business who doesn't have a way to manage who you are serving as your customers, if you don't know their contact information, or you have it in papers or in Excel files that we all know we love, but it would be so much nicer to have everything in one place, right? And then, as you said, Joanna, if we could have invoices and proposals in one place, this software can be the answer to all of the issues, not only to get new clients, but also to have repeat clients, which we know they're much easier to get than the first time clients. So, Joanna, I am super excited because of the vision you have about this new product and the expansion of your business and the expansion of services that you are going to provide to your clients. Because I really see all of what you offer under one big umbrella, serving those clients and helping them be the best business owner they can be to serve their clients, right? I'm super excited. Okay, so a crucial question for this podcast, Joanne. Were you expected to be successful?
I like that one. I think I already had that mindset that I'm in here for the long haul. So I need to be like successful in what I do, like be enough, but not in a way that I think I that I am right now. Being able to be part of a community, being able maybe to be interviewed in a TV station, being able to connect with a lot of people, having clients worldwide from different, right? Having a team. I prayed for all of this, but just being able to have it, just like, oh, okay, we've come far. That's awesome. Just a different definition of what we sometimes see as a success. You know, sometimes it's monetary, sometimes it's non-tangible or some sort, but just being able to like have this conversation and just even to share that story is a reminder of what we have done. And if I may share as well, during that Christmas party, I was really teary-eyed because my team did a presentation slide of what happened in 2023. And you know how I was so depressed and I was so full of anxiety. And when I saw the highlights, just the highlights of the good, just made me realize it has still been a good year.
Wow. You know, sometimes we as business owners and high achievers, we are in the day-to-day, and it's been part of my own journey to really learn to slow down and celebrate those moments, because when we cannot look back and remember where we were and then where we have come to be. And so thank you, team members, for putting that highlight slide, because it is so important to celebrate all the accomplishments. And I'm sure as part of this family, you all seem to have as team members, that was also something intentional for your nourishment as well. So let's celebrate 2023. And you know, Joanna, I am so amazed because in light of you being in this hard place, you're still creating, you're still putting initiatives forward. You said in October of 2023, you really define who your ideal listener is for your podcast. And then in December of 2023, you are closing so strong with having a new business. And so I'm excited. I'm excited because of your resilience and because of your commitment to continue to create things out of nothing. And so for my audience, Joanna, for the women aspiring entrepreneurs who may be listening, whether they're immigrants or not, what is a piece of advice you give them to be in a better place where I know I want to start my own business, but I haven't taken that step? What would you give them as a piece of advice?
I think because coming from a risk taker type of personality is really just act on it. It will never be 100% perfect, but I think if you just act on that idea, it just gives you more of a clear decision whether it's for you or not. Because I think that's one thing that I really just have. Sometimes it's so scary. Sometimes it's just so like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm right, making the right decision. Again, we're not going to do all the right decisions, but just by taking action, showing up. I think that's one thing, because even though that I was so depressed, I just keep showing up for my team, showing up for myself, showing up for my clients, showing up for anyone. Sometimes they don't really expect me to show up, sometimes, because there was a time that I had to like slow down on social media and kind of, no one's asking where I am, right? But I just still show up for myself, because Joanna deserves to show up. So if you're an entrepreneur, yourself deserves that to be showed up, and just act on it and make decisions from there. I think that's one thing that I can really impart as a savvy entrepreneur.
I love it. Branding. Yes. Joanna, how would you describe your journey in business ownership as an immigrant businesswoman, in one word?
Ooh. Can I say roller coaster? Yes. Roller coaster with all hands up. And I actually am scared with roller coaster. The last time I actually went to roller coaster here in Kings Island, my husband went me like the traditional wooden roller coaster.
Yes.
Oh, he broke me. That was the first ride that he had. And the next thing I know, I can't turn my neck. So I was like, no, I don't want a roller coaster. But it's a roller coaster.
And Joanna, for my audience who may want to get in touch with you for services on Canva, on Kajabi, and your new company, EmpowerSoft, and expand the services, how can they get in touch with you?
Yes. So if you are if you are a business owner who's looking for the design and website support, you can actually visit savvychicdesign.com. Feel free to schedule a free 30-minute call, and we have a conversation, making sure that we can be the right fit for you. And for EmpowerSoft, we are officially going to have a beta launch on January 15. We are looking for at least 10 beta users. So you can actually email hello@empowersoft.com. We can surely share that one. You can just send us an email. We have a special deal for that software that you have. We are looking for that first 25 that will sign up, and you'll have a 34% discount on the monthly subscription that we are going to offer on the middle tier that we have. So yeah, and you know what, Griselda, it's so nice to actually start saying it to the world.
Yes.
The first time I actually told it in public. That's also one thing. You know how when you share it, you're now accountable on making it happen?
Yes.
And I think that's where I am. Like, share it. And I also would love to say thank you to you, because you've been an inspiration yesterday when you say it's an expansion. It's not really like it's an expansion. And I shared that one to our team. Like, we're not shifting. We're still going to be head on same direction. We're just expanding it, adding a different name to it, but still having that one. So yeah, that's where you can all find me under Joanna Sherrow. I'm all over social under Savvy Chic Design. I'm also over all social. So you can all follow me there and just send us a message.
Awesome. And for my audience, if you are part of the risk-taking team and you want to be part of the beta testing, beta customers, you are actually getting a sweet deal here from Joanna and her team.
Yes. If I may say, the first 25 will also have an onboarding guide that will be part of that package.
Awesome. Goodies left and right here with Savvy Chic Design. I'll get it right, Joanna. For my audience, I hope that you enjoyed this conversation, that you were empowered, that you were inspired, that you know what you need to do if you are wondering about taking your next step or not. I thank you, Joanna, for sharing the insights, your life experience, your business ownership journey with us, and for bringing the raw and genuine stories to this platform. Until next time, my audience, more to come.